Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to today's episode. Today I'm going to show you a quick and easy dish that I'm sure you love. It's pork teriyaki. Now the pork teriyaki is basically, I've done, let's say, like a shortcut method. Usually there's a way to make teriyaki sauce which is a soy-based sauce, but today I'm just going to show you how to make it with honey and mushroom dark soy sauce. And today's show is brought to you by Merrys Gold Pishori Rice, which is what I've used to accompany the dish, and it's very delicious. Let's get started. So what I love about this recipe is the simplicity. It's very few ingredients, and the pork that I'm using here is a tender pork, which is the tenderloin, the pork fillet. It's similar to the beef fillet or beef tenderloin, and comes from the inside of the loin, of the ribs parts of the meat. Now, because it's tender, what I've done is cut them into thin slices. It cooks very fast. And also this is a very fast recipe, so let's start by turning on a pan. I'm putting it on high heat. I'll add some cooking oil, just a little bit. And when you have cooking oil, just cook it, add cooking oil on a hot pan, because that way you get to see how much you've added, because when it hits the pan, it starts spreading. So oil is hot. So I'll season my meat with black pepper. Now if you're using any other, whatever pork you use, try and get boneless. Or just cut them in. You can also cut them into cubes. And because the soy sauce has salt, I'm not going to add any salt in this. I'm just adding black pepper. And this piece was about 400 grams. So just black pepper, and then again the idea is to brown the meat. And also make sure that all the pieces are actually touching the surface of the pan. They should not overlap, because you want each and every piece to cook. I'm going to add a little bit more of the oil. Should be just enough to cook and brown the meat. And as the meat starts turning color, the top part starts to look like it's cooked. You turn it so that it browns on the second side. Naniona. Naniona na hii moshi. Haya, sawa. So the meat is browned, and it's because, like I said, it's a tender meat. It's now about 80% cooked. Now, when the meat is fully brown, I'm going to add the soy sauce. Now I'm using a mushroom dark soy sauce. If you use the dark soy sauce, it's a little bit too much. So mushroom dark soy sauce is what I would recommend. And I'm going to add the honey. Now teriyaki recipe is basically, it's a soy sauce based sauce. And by addition of the honey, it's also a sweet sauce. So when you add the honey, it creates that effect. So this is just one, it's a quick recipe that you can do for teriyaki sauce, honey and soy sauce. And right now you want the sauce to cook until it thickens, and the meat will also cook on the inside. So it's also a good idea to taste. I need more of the honey. It should not be too salty. If it's too salty, just add more honey. And of course, if it's too sweet, I'll add a little bit more of the soy sauce. I'm doing it on medium heat, and now it's cooked. So turn off the heat. Perfect. Has a nice sweet and salty taste, which is exactly what we wanted. So when it comes to serving, I'll be honest, this dish goes perfectly well with a rice dish, with some plain rice. I also have some vegetables cooked on the side. I have some French beans and tomatoes. The rice is the Merrys Gold Pishori Rice. The Pishori rice comes through perfectly, or any flavored rice. And now when it comes to serving of the meat, remember, be careful not to overcook it. Now that we had cooked it, I'd cut it into strips, so I'm going to place a few. And because it has its sauce, I'm also going to add a little bit of the teriyaki sauce. It's thickened. Don't put too much. The amount of salt, remember we didn't add any salt. It's now all just from the soy sauce. Again, it's a good idea not to use dark soy sauce because it becomes too salty and it's too much. So you can either add the dark soy sauce and then a little bit of water as well to try and dilute it. And like I said, if you want it, it needs to be on the sweet side, so you add slightly more honey to make it sweeter. And there you have it. This is a perfect quick dish. The French beans and tomatoes, it's also a very quick dish to make, and then served with the Merrys Gold Pishori rice. I hope you like it. See you next time.